welcome to Daily Dictation. This is an interactive video that would help you practice your English skills. Today, we are looking at sentences and vocabulary related to the topic of describing your home. All sentences are in low intermediate English level. And for this video, you are going to listen to me read 5 sentences related to this topic. You will write down the sentences to the best of your ability with the correct spelling, punctuation, and grammar. And then I will show you what the correct sentences look like, explain the grammar, and some spelling tips and tricks to help you improve your skills. This will help you improve your listening skills and your writing skills in English, as well as help you build your vocabulary. Let's get started. This is a skill that is best developed if you practice every day. So there's new sentences each weekday, new topics each week, and 2 English levels offered. The instructions for this activity, you will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil. 5 sentences will be read. Each sentence will be read 3 times and 1 more time at the end. You have to write down each sentence to the best of your ability, and you will use your listening skills to do this. Try your best to apply the correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. All right, so you will see on the screen there are numbers 1 to 5. Each number represents a different sentence that I will read. We'll start with sentence number 1. Number 1. The appliance in the kitchen helps us bake delicious cookies. The appliance in the kitchen helps us bake delicious cookies. The appliance in the kitchen helps us bake delicious cookies. Number 2. We planted flowers in the garden in our yard. We planted flowers in the garden in our yard. We planted flowers in the garden in our yard. Number 3. The house has a spacious living room. The house has a spacious living room. The house has a spacious living room. Number 4. My comfortable apartment is close to many shops. My comfortable apartment is close to many shops. My comfortable apartment is close to many shops. Number 5. Our neighbors enjoy playing games in their backyard. Our neighbors enjoy playing games in their yard. Our neighbors enjoy playing games in their yard. My neighbors enjoy playing games in their yard. Now I will read each sentence one more time, starting with sentence number 1. The appliance in the kitchen helps us bake delicious cookies. Number 2. We planted flowers in the garden in our yard. Number 3. The house has a spacious living room. Number 4. My comfortable apartment is close to many shops. Number 5. Our neighbors enjoy playing games in their yard. All right, that is all of our sentences for today. Let's get ready to have a look at what they look like. If you found that this video was too fast, I recommend that you listen again. When you listen again, you can adjust the playback speed and make it go slower through the settings of the video. If you need to listen to specific sentences again, just check the description for timestamps. Let's get ready to check our answers, starting with number 1. The appliance in the kitchen helps us bake delicious cookies. If we look at this, the appliance in the kitchen, we're really focusing on the appliance, that's the main subject, and it is singular, but then we're providing more context, making the entire thing here a noun phrase. We are adding this preposition to tell us more about the location of the appliance. We have a preposition of place here, which shows the relationship between the appliance and the kitchen. And since the appliance is singular, then that's why we're adding the third person singular rule on the word helps, because it's in simple present tense. Us is the object of the sentence, but we have more information. We have another verb and then an adjective, and then the word cookies, noun. And so that is a bit of a breakdown of this sentence. Remember that appliance has two P's. There's a double consonant here. So it's up to you how you want to remember. I think app, fly, ants is a good way to split it up, but there's many different ways to split it up. But that just helps you remember that there are two P's, one P with AP, and then pliant, which has another P. So this helps remind you that there is two P's. Delicious might be a hard word as well. Delicious could be one way to split it up, just to remember that there's two I's on either side here. Let's have a look at sentence number 2. We planted flowers in the garden in our yard. We is the subject, planted is the verb in simple past, flowers is the object of the sentence, but we have two prepositions of place, in and in. So first we have this preposition of place to tell us the relationship between the word garden and the noun flowers. So this helps us here. And then we have another preposition of place to tell us the relationship between the noun yard and the noun garden. So it tells us where all of these nouns are located. So, and it's also making our sentence a little bit longer and a little bit more complex. Overall, the spelling should not be too hard for these words. Flowers can be tricky sometimes just because there's another word, the baking ingredient that you use to make cake and bread, flour. These two words sound the same, but they are spelled differently. Flour as a baking ingredient is a non-count noun, but flowers as in the things that you plant in your garden and make your house look beautiful, this is a count noun. Number 3, the house has a spacious living room. The house is the subject of the sentence. Has is our verb, and it's in simple present tense. And house is singular, so that's why we're using has, that form. Spacious is the adjective to describe the noun living room. And living room, we want to remember, is actually 2 words. So living room is 2 words. Even though it's one thing, it's 2 words, and this is kind of tricky. It really needs to be remembered because bathroom and bedroom don't follow this rule. Bathroom is 1 word and bedroom is 1 word. But for whatever reason, living room is 2 words. Spacious could be a tricky word to spell as well. You want to remember that it comes from the word space. There is a lot of space, except there's no E here because we have an I-O-U-S. We can see that this I-O-U-S is a really common suffix for adjectives because we see it here spacious, but we also see it in delicious. Let's have a look at sentence 4. My comfortable apartment is close to many shops. My comfortable apartment is the subject of this sentence. Is is the form of be. And because apartment is singular, that's why we're using is. And after the form of be, we always has an adjective close. And we're using the preposition to show what it is close to, and that is many shops. Comfortable is an adjective here, and it's a little bit tricky to spell. So able is a good way to split it up into smaller bits so you can remember the letter order and get the spelling correct. An apartment is tricky because a lot of people think, okay, appliance has two P's, so apartment must have two P's, but that's not true. Apartment just has one P, so that's a little bit tricky. And then we have number 5. Our neighbors enjoy playing games in their yard. Our neighbors is the subject of the sentence, and it's plural. So even though this is simple present tense, we're not adding an S on here at the end of enjoy, which is the verb, because this is already plural. Enjoy doing what? Playing games. This is a gerund, not a verb, because it acts like a noun here. Now we have the preposition in, the preposition of place to show us where they are playing games in their yard. And we're using the possessive adjective there. So this is the correct spelling for that. Another tricky spelling thing from this sentence is the word neighbors. I live in Canada, so we spell neighbors with a U. However, if you're used to American spelling, you might have not spelt it with a U, in which case you would still be correct. So that is a breakdown of the grammar and some of the spelling tips to help you improve the spelling of these words. If you want to practice these words a little bit more, all the bold ones, then I'll give you a better list. Here's a list of the words that were bold in the previous slide. We have house, comfortable, neighbors, appliance, apartment, garden, room, kitchen, yard, and furniture. So make sure that you practice these words and know how to use them when you're writing your own sentences or when you're speaking. This is especially true if you plan on taking a proficiency exam because this topic of describing your home, talk about where you live, really commonly comes up in various sections. So it's really good to know this vocabulary, whether you are writing for a listening exercise, writing for an essay, or speaking to an examiner. It is really good to know how to apply these words correctly. So make sure you know the different word forms and how they fit in sentences. Other than that, that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. Keep practicing your English, and I'll see you next time. Bye.